RiseAbsorb is redefining what growers expect from phosphate fertilizer. Backed by data and built for performance, RiseAbsorb helps reduce phosphorus losses, improve uptake, and boost ROI without increasing input costs. Join the next wave of growers switching to the next generation of phosphorus fertilizers by visiting phospholutions.com.
I'm Amber Bell, and this is Real Agriculture. I am here today at the Globe Food Leadership Summit in Calgary, Alberta, and getting the chance to catch up with Nick Betts, who's the Executive Director with CANZA. Hi, Nick. It's great to see you.
Good to see you, Amber.
Okay, so you guys have a big announcement that you're putting out there today. Talk to me a little bit about the Million Acre Challenge.
The Million Acre Challenge is a bold new initiative we're launching today that's looking at scaling regenerative practices on over 365,000 acres of farmland across Canada in the next 5 years.
And what does that look like?
So this looks like working with farmers and with industry leaders to help drive more money into the system. It's looking at saying, how can we de-risk some of those activities on farm that are preventing farmers from trying new practices? So where can we take some of that risk that could be associated with that practice change in the short term and actually help them get over that hump to say, yeah, this is worth trying because long term there's a huge benefit for you, for our supply chains, and for Canada.
How much money are we actually talking about here?
The Weston family has provided a catalytic gift of $7 million for this first year of work, looking at an ambitious target far beyond that into 2030. And that will really help us jumpstart both a pilot project to say this is how we can help with agronomists and the right agronomic support that farmers are looking for and need to do this on the ground, but also build out the element of this project that's going to be the engine that's going to drive it long term. And this is the environmental outcomes marketplace that allows for those environmental outcomes that those farmers are going to actually produce on their farm to be monetized in a way that they can actually see a check.
Tell me a little bit about CANZA and how this fits into your mandate.
CANZA's been around for a couple of years now, and it was launched by some of the leaders in the industry in the space. You can check them out at canza.ca. And they really wanted to understand how can we scale and catalytically drive some of these awesome solutions that we know about or can create to make farming better for Canada and for farmers.
The word regenerative has been thrown around a lot here at the event today, and I think there's a lot of different definitions on it. So what do regenerative practices look like when it comes to this funding, and can you speak into that a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Regenerative can be described many different ways. What we like to do is we come back to the principles of what is regenerative agriculture, and that involves things like keeping a living root system in your soils, covering your soils as much as can be done in certain situations to make sure that those living root systems exist, understanding how we can really maintain water so that the crops can actually grow during the year, and really make sure that that farmer can farm on that field the next year.
Terrific. Are there resources that growers can go to for ideas on practices that might be able to be implemented?
This is one of those interesting pieces that I think is kind of novel that we're trying. And this is actually not just blanketing out a bunch of practices that we say, yeah, it would be good if farmers can do this. What we want to do is work with local farmers and local agronomists in the regions and the supply sheds we're working in to make sure the practices, there's a menu of practices that farmers can choose to really identify, yeah, this works for my farm in my region with my crops and still produces the outcomes that we're looking for. If we would blanket the system, we wouldn't get those kinds of beneficial elements then when we work locally. So we're starting in southwestern Ontario with corn rotations, and we're doing this with those agronomists and those farmers directly to understand what practices do we need to do there that work for them. When we look to expand next year into, say, Western Manitoba, we'll do the same thing with that supply shed. And it's very important that we have a really local focus so that it works for farmers, but a national approach so that it really streamlines the process and gets rid of a lot of the red tape.
Great. And where can farmers, potential investors, or just people interested go for more information?
We want all of those people to come to our website, canza.ca. We want any farmer who's interested in this, doesn't matter where you are right now, doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, where in the country you are, mac@canza.ca. We'd love to know where you are and what your interest is so we know where to expand next.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And that was Nick Betts on Real Agriculture.